Hey, it's Liz. I am here with my fifth and final part of a five-part series on how ADHD presents itself in my life and what I do about it. And there's obviously way more than five ways this presents in my life. But I took the pressure off of coming up with a complete list and I just started with five and we'll go from there. And if you want more, let me know. I can keep it going. Yeah. So, the fifth one that I came up with for today is gremlin voices in my head. So gremlins are, naysaying, negative, critical, constantly critiquing, just like total jerks that are in my head and can come up a lot. And it's less now that I've empowered myself and learned more about ADHD and how this all works. Like it's definitely gotten a lot better, but I literally am digging out from a lifetime of constant criticism and just being a total a-hole to myself behind the scenes. I feel really proud. I've accomplished some really cool things and I've done a lot of cool stuff. If I really think about it, I haven't really felt good about it down on the core level because there was this constant like perfectionist critique going on of like, I helped to coordinate, giving out 500 food baskets, but they weren't super organized and not everyone got green beans. So, it could have been better. Just like constantly just like, I don't know, taking myself down and kind of like, I don't know, being negative about it. So these voices, like they don't just go away. It's just something that I've built like a relationship with them. And so when they pop up, one of the biggest things I've done is go to counseling, man. Like get some help in the sense of building new neural pathways around different beliefs and things that were created when I was a kid and I didn't have support around having attention struggles or learning disabilities, and it's okay that that support didn't happen. Everyone was doing the best that they could do. However, I was unsupported. And so I made a lot of assumptions and beliefs about myself in that context that just aren't true. Like beliefs like something's wrong with me and it's not okay or I have to hide it or I'm a failure or all this crap. And so going to counseling and for me particularly I've done EMDR therapy, which if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's like totally amazing and it actually helps you create new neural pathways around things. And I've like can feel like my brain is rewired in a non-creepy sci-fi way, but just in a like real way. And so it's helped me work through a ton of stuff. So big shout out to that. And just getting help and getting support, has been life-changing. So that's one thing. The also other thing is, I've mentioned before, but learning how to meditate. And I keep bringing it up and it was mentioned to me for years and years and years of like, that might be useful. And I just pushed it off until this year. And I finally like gave it a real shot and took a class around it, and learned about it and got support and was held accountable to it. And it's just been amazing. So that's one. Also the gremlins, like they're not going anywhere. Right. And honestly, it's really just your brain trying to do its job. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of work on like learning how my brain is just trying to do its job, and it's like just bringing up the flip side and being all nervous and anxious, and like I always picture it with like having a clipboard and being like, "Have you thought about this? What about this? Okay, how about this?" It's just kind of this nervous Nelly character that is kind of a glass half empty, way of being in the world, and so I do two things with that. My dear friend who was having really intense thoughts about driving after having her first child, she was like super anxious about it. And she started saying, she would have that thought of like, this terrible thought, like, well, what if this happens, blah, blah. And she would say, thank you, brain. I appreciate that. That is one option. However, I'm still going to do this, and she would thank her brain for bringing up the flip side. And it just created this awesome space between it. It acknowledged it, it validated it. And then it said it went a different way and went a different path. And so thanking my brain has been part of it, of just like, thanks for that insight. Okay. And just kind of see it as the super annoying coworker who brings up things. Sometimes they have valid points. Sometimes they don't. And you're kind of like, All right, Jim. Yep, moving on. I apologize to all the gyms out there. We love you too. The other piece of this is getting my heart on board. For many, many years, I was in this space of being in the world and trying to be perfect and like do everything right. What my brain was telling me, because again, there was this disconnect of like, I was having all this internal struggle of like seeing things differently and like, or not understanding different things, but not wanting to show anyone that that was happening. And like my brain just totally took over and has been just like running the show. And it wasn't getting my heart involved, which, yes, I live in Asheville. Yes, that might sound really woo-woo, but it's true. Like my feelings, my intuition, and like these other superpowers that I have just weren't part of the conversation because my brain just totally was running the show. And so when the gremlin voices pop up and all these negative things are flooding in or whatever, I do my best to thank my brain, and then I check in with whoever else is in the room, right? So it's like, how do you feel about that heart? Yeah, and it's totally woo-woo and kind of hilarious, but it's working, and I'm owning it. So, yes, so gremlin voices are a thing. It's, it is what it is. The goal isn't to get rid of them. The goal is to have a healthier relationship with them, in my opinion. And so by getting help from professionals of what to do about it and getting a stronger, different neural pathways in my head that are more positive is great. Meditating so that I get a break from the voices, not in a psychotic way, but just in the like negative voice way. So meditation, and then thanking my brain, and then moving on anyways, and then get my heart involved. They help out. Some days are better than others, but as a whole, it's made a big difference. So if you have a gremlin voice, which I know you all do, and have any thoughts about this, let me know. If there's other things that you do that have helped you, please share. And it's just cool because not every solution is the right solution for everybody, of course. But if we all share what's working for us or where we're struggling, we can support one another in figuring out our own kind of mosaic of what we need to live our best lives and be happy and healthy. So that's it for the 5-part series, and I appreciate you watching, and I would love to hear your thoughts, and hope you're having a great day. All right, take care. Thanks. Bye.